So good afternoon everybody. So today I'm going to be making this tutorial of this beautiful gown top, but you can actually make it a gown. Just follow what I am doing. Where the whole work is on the waist. You can actually make it a gown, or you can preferably make it a top, but today I'm making top. So if you want to make yours a gown, it's just for you to extend this way. Okay, so if you want to make it a gown, it's just for you to extend from the hip length. Now this is my neckline, which is 3 by 3.5. So I want to concentrate on the back. Like I used to say, if you know that I made this tutorial and whatever you don't understand, please put it on the comment section nicely. Some people can be very rude. I bring up tutorials every single day. So if I start cutting those tutorials on paper, on fabric every day, that will be a lot of money. If I ask you to pay money for it, of course you might not want to. Some people might want to do it, but some might not want to do it. So whatever I'm doing is just for free and for everybody. Please, let's just try and appreciate me, because there are some comments I used to get on my comment section and I'll be like, where is this person coming from? So this is actually the top. I slanted out my shoulder. I came in by 1/2 inch, and this is my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches. But I don't. I've told you people I don't really put 2 inches all the time. But as a beginner, put 2 inches so that if at the end of the day it's too tight, you can open. Now this is my shoulder to bust point, which is 10 inches. Then my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches. That's what I marked here. Shoulder to waistline, waist circumference divided by 4, that's what I marked here. Hip line, and this my top went a little bit down. I want it to be very free, so I took it a little bit down, a little bit, some 2 inches below the hip line. Do you understand? So that my top will relax well, like what you are seeing on the screen, right? So now, if I will suggest that when making this top and you want to make it for sale, please use stretchy fabric, stretchy crepe. Don't use soft lycra. I don't like so, but there's this thicker lycra. You can use those ones. But stretchy fabric. This is a corporate gown I made and it's actually for sale. Someone requested for it. But if you observe, this is the material I'm talking about. I decided to use it today. See the material I'm talking about. It's thick, but it's very, very stretchy. I don't know if my camera is really picking it. Okay. So that's that for the material. So now for this particular fabric, remember that if this person should wear this cloth, they will tie it. So it doesn't really need that. But if you know you want to use that, good and fine, you can use that. But I don't like, for a beginner, don't use that. You will see that at the end of the day you find out that you put is useless. Because why? They are going to tie it. So by the time they tie the bow tie, do you understand, the fitting it brings out around the hip line, waistline, is enough for any that you want to put. So don't put that, so that you won't be confused. But if I were to be put that, I know what to do. If you want to see how to put that in this fabric, that is when you are making for a fabric that is non-stretchy. That's when you'll be needing that. But for me, I will just tell you that from the experience I have, this particular style does not need that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start plotting. Now the work we are going to be doing is on the waistline. Okay, so I will need us now to open this, because our whatever I plot here now, that's the way you are going to lift it and place it on your fabric and mark out and cut out and start sewing. Do you understand? So some people are telling me, if you mark on, if you plot on pattern, how do you just, anyhow I put it now, anywhere it is now, that's how you spread your fabric and just place it on it. That's all. So I'm going to follow. Okay, so this is our fabric. Let's assume that we want to make an ordinary top. This is our top. Just place it like so, like the way this fabric is now. Just place it like so and you mark out, or place it on fold and you mark out. But today we are going to be working, because we want to do this bow tie that is in front of this top. So just watch and see what I'm going to be doing. Now the whole work is centered around the waistline because that is where the bow tie is. Do you observe? The whole work is around it. So we are slashing to create that tie, the rope in front. We are going to be slashing to create that rope. So when creating that rope, knowing that where the rope is on the waistline. Can you see it? So now when we get to the waistline, around halfway from here, divide this part into two. This from here to here, divide it into two. And so from here to here, I got 3 inches. So I'm going to be marking the center, which this is the center. Now, when slashing, right, you are going to slash from here to here. When slashing, not because they say you should slash, you just slash anyhow you like. There is always a pattern to slashing, and your slash line should have where it should end. If not, your pattern will not be flat, and plotting it on a fabric will not be difficult. But if you slash in a way that at the end of the day your pattern is still flat, do you understand? So because there's a way you are going to slash now, if you open up this paper, some places will puff off because it's not relaxed. So you are going to slash in a way for you to get the perfect effect. You are going to slash in a way that your pattern will still be flat on the board. Now to guide me, I will get my bust pan, which is here. Okay, and I will get my bust pan again, which is here. Can you see? And I will get my bust pan again, which is somewhere around here. Can you see? So this is now the line created for my bust pan, even though I don't need it. You know, I told you that we will not be putting that, will not be. So now I'm going to be slashing through the waistline to this place. Okay, because I want this half part to be pulled towards this side. Do you understand? So I'm going to slashing, and my slash line will end here for the straight one. Now it will end here for the straight one, and then it will splash through this side, splash through this side, splash through this side. You know the reason why is because the if you observe, the gathering came from, it came in a triangular way. So because that gathering came in a triangular way, we have to spread it. Now let me just explain. Now the line is already towards this side. Now the first one should start from here and end on the that leg. Can you see it? Then the second one again will start from here and end again on the that leg. Can you see? Now I always advise you to splash as much as possible, but I always still advise you to splash in a way that you'll be able to control, because whatever you splash, you should be able to gather it perfectly back to how it was before. That's how you achieve effect in splashing. So not that they say splash, you just be tearing the cloth anyhow, tearing the pattern anyhow. No, tear with plan so that by the time you gather it back, everything will be equal. I'm done slashing. Can you see? So I will open up. Can you see? If you slash the way I slashed it now, can you see it's still flat? Okay, there's no part that is puffing up, it's still flat. The idea is that whatever you are going to be doing, this paper should be flat on the floor. Now I will take another paper. Now another thing you should take um observe is that the spreading should be equal, but though it doesn't really matter, but I just like it being equal. So when you are doing yours on your own fabric, when you spread, okay, the distance between this one and this one should be the same, this one and this one should be the same, this one and this one should be the same, just like that. But even though it has not been established that is that important, but I like doing it that way. Okay, I like doing it that way. Okay, so you slash. Because it's a mini measurement I'm using, I can't coordinate it now. But when coordinating yours, make sure that the distance from here to here is distance from here, like that it should be the same. Okay, can you see? Can you see? Now the next thing for you to do is to rule this line, which is the center line. Rule it. I want to use it as a guide for something. If these openings were equal, this line will stand straight. So that's why I said when making your own, make sure that the distances between here and here is the same. Distances between here and here is the same. Distances between here and here is the same. But you see my own is scattered now. Please ignore. When making your own, you will see that it will be able for you to coordinate because you are plotting on a adult size pattern. Okay. So now I'm going to be measure. We are done. Oh. Like this, you are done with this style. Now you are going to measure from here to here. How many do I have? I measure from here to here and I have 2 inches. So I take the midpoint, which is 1 inch. Can you see? I take the midpoint, which is 1 inch. To make that rope straight, you are going to measure from here to this edge of this particular paper. From here to the edge of this particular paper, I want to know how many inches. And I folded, you have to fold this one up so that you'll be seeing this paper, this last paper. So because that's what we want to measure now. So I will measure from here, that dot, to the end of this paper, which is 4 inches. So that means I'm going to be marking 4 inches all through. Do you understand? Depending on the length I want for the rope. Okay, 4 inches. So this now, can you see? Can you see it? And I will return this one the way it was before. Can you see it? Okay, so I want to assume that this is now the length of my rope. You can make it as long as you want depending on how your pattern paper allows you. Please plot this style on a pattern first. You must. For people that don't like plotting on pattern, I don't do anything apart from plotting on pattern. So this is the length of my tie. Okay, I want my tie to be how many inches wide, anyhow you want it. But let's assume that I want mine to be 4 inches. I want to mark it this way. I want to mark it this way. Can you see? Can you see what I'm doing? You are connecting this very line to this start point. Okay? You place it like so. Place it like so. So you are connecting these 2 points. Please watch what I did. Remember that this is free. Remember that this is free. Can you see? I have formed my line. Oh. You can decide to even slim it out if you want. Anyhow you want the shape of the rope to be. Anyhow you want it to be. Now you know. Can you see? Okay. So I will now. Can you see whatever we have doing has formed? So now we can cut out the excess from the back. Look at what I'm going to be doing now. We are done with everything we did. We are now going to connect back our top. The way we tore it before, we'll connect it back. All you need to do is raise up this one like so, pick this one like so, pick this one like so, join it back. Can you see? join it back, stitch it back. Okay, now return your rope like so, and this is our top. Stitch it back. You know I use sellotape because it's paper. Stitch it back. So before cutting on your fabric, now stitch it back so you can see. You can see. But let's assume, I just wanted you to see the shape it's giving us now. So on your fabric, eh? On your fabric, this is what you are cutting. On your fabric, this is exactly what you are cutting on your fabric. So where you are going to be stitching is after you have finished cutting on your fabric, cut all these things the way it is. Cut this triangle, these places, cut it. This is why you are cutting on your fabric. Now, after cutting on your fabric, this, I want to assume that I've cut on my fabric. This now is my fabric. Raise up this one, raise up this one, and stitch these two places together. That was what I did. Okay, raise it up and you cover it. This is what you get. So is when you cut on fabric, you will now be seeing what you are doing to this one. This rope now is either this rope now, okay, is either you are turning it with another fabric, or you are just going to use industrial weaving to weave the two edges. Okay, so now let's assume that you have cut the back. The back does not have any problem because that's what why I did not explain the back. The back is exactly the same thing with the front. Okay, so is on this edge. After when you are joining the front and the back on this place, that's where you are going to join another rope or tie that is exactly the same size with this one. So the customer now ties like so and drops. Okay, and drops it like so. I want to believe that I've done justice to this. I want to believe that I've done justice to this. So you cut the back pattern to be exactly this one. That's minus all the slash and spread with it. The back pattern is like this. Now you are going to join that back and that front. But before joining that back and that front, cut another fabric that is exactly this rope. This is where you are going to join it by the side. As you are joining the front and back, join it here. So that rope you joined with this one is what the customer will tie, and that is what will fall like so. That's all. Is there any need of extending this tutorial? Let me know in the comment section. It's just trying to combine everything together for you. If you watch this video more than 2 times, you will get this tutorial. And tell me thank you in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video.